I used to believe this city was alive. Every corner hummed with possibility, every face a story. Then I saw the yellow tape, the flashing lights, another crime scene. But walking away, I realized the real murder wasn't there. It was in the shuttered bookstore, the fenced-off park, the neighbors who stopped knowing each other's names. This city didn't die in one violent act. It was murdered slowly, clue by clue, and you better hope the evidence doesn't lead back to you.
To Las Vegas, where sentencing is just getting underway for a former Pawn star facing 51 years to life in prison for the death of her ex-boyfriend. Back in November, the jury found Deyvon Michaels guilty of bludgeoning and decapitating the father of her
This
two
is
daughters.
one of the craziest
Jonathan
stories of
Willett,
all
the night
time.
before he was
You're
supposed to
talking
move
about
back in
an
with her.
ex-wife
Prosecutors
killed
said
her
that Michaels was unhappy with
ex-husband
how quickly the move was
by
happening
cutting his
and was
head
afraid
off.
that it would disrupt the life that
It's
she
the
had
craziest
with
story
her new
ever, man.
husband,
You gotta listen to
Deyvon
this.
Willett, who also happened to be Jonathan Willett's son. Now, before we get you into court, here's a quick recap of the case against Deyvon Michaels.
On August 7th of 2023, the defendant, Deyvon Michaels, brutally murdered and savaged the body of her ex, Jonathan Willett. But the story did not begin on August 7th of 2023, and all I can say is buckle up because you're in for a wild ride.
It was missing head, let's lock it down.
You left it there. Hit it in the head, it's unconscious, not moving. No, this is because it's empty. I don't know if you cut his head off.
He cut his head off.
Explain how this happened.
I don't know. I can't cut a person's head off. I know he was pissing me off, so I killed him, but it wasn't anything where he was dead, he was breathing, he definitely had his head on him. You guys are trying to say I did all this stuff. I did not.
You don't remember, is what you're saying. You don't remember doing any of this.
This is Jonathan in life. Jonathan's two young children that he shared with the defendant. There was a custody agreement that was ordered by the family court in which the victim had full physical custody of the girls.
You guys have been off and on since when?
No, we're not off and on. We're just trying to make a family work. Like, we're not physically intimate or anything.
And prior to her ex-husband killing, this woman had a marriage with this man's son. This is unbelievable.
You have a boyfriend or anything right now?
Yeah, I'm married.
You're married?
Yes, sir. I'm married to that, yeah.
The son?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
What was your relationship to Jonathan Willett?
I was his son.
While you were intimate with Nikki initially, was she still dating your dad? Or in a relationship with your dad?
Yes, sir.
About how old were you at that time?
19.
19 years old?
Yes, sir.
Did Nikki lose custody of the children?
Yes, sir.
Was this before or after you married, if you remember?
After.
The truth is, the walls were closing in on Deyvon Michaels and the fantasy that she had put together. And what was her response when her children were taken away? Jonathan had custody, and this was in danger. She did the unfathomable. She murdered Jonathan Willett.
When we talk about motive, what drives a person to murder, is it not passion of a young man? His first love? His first love that's coming to an end when dad's coming in and moving in, the dad that he said was never there for him. Fathers are sometimes killed by their sons.
We, the jury, in the above entitled case, find the defendant, Deyvon J. Michaels, as follows. Count 1, murder with use of a deadly weapon. Guilty of first-degree murder with use of a deadly weapon.
All right, folks, we're continuing to monitor what's going on in Texas, of course. We'll take you back there as soon as this gets done. But right now, I want to get you into court for the start of Michael's sentencing hearing.
Let's go on the record and see 377-239, State of Nevada versus Deyvon Michaels. May the record reflect that Ms. Michaels is present in custody. Mr. Draskovich and Mr. Horvath are here on her behalf. Mr. Giordani and Ms. Griffith are here on behalf of the state. This is the date and time set for sentencing. Are both parties prepared to go forward?
We are.
All right, just a couple housekeeping matters. The victim's mother sent a very long, detailed list of money she's out of, but I don't have any documentation.
I did
to
not
support.
receive that either.
Okay, so I'm going to award the $5,000 of restitution to victims of crime, but that'll be the only restitution because there was actually proof of that.
Understood.
Any objection from the defense to that?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, and we did have a discussion about credit, and we have the credit at 780 days. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. State, you also noticed victim speakers. How many speakers do you have?
2.
And pursuant to statute, would you like them to speak last?
Please.
All right. State, since this is the result of a jury trial, you have retained the right to argue.
Yes, Judge, and you've been doing this as long as I have, if not longer. There's a couple of different types of defendants that come before you and that I've dealt with in my career. And there are those that don't function in society. They commit multiple crimes over and over. And then there are those like this defendant who functioned relatively normally for an extended period of time, but committed such an extreme act of evil when she did commit a crime that you have to put her on the far end of the spectrum of evil, Judge.
Imagine a judge being lenient because you have no criminal background and this is your first offense. This is a crazy world, y'all.
Really just
Stay
have
tuned.
a question for the court, and I'm not going to try to provide an answer. And the question is this, is a person who is capable of such extreme evil, is that person someone that we want to walk our streets, whether it's 20 years from now, 28 years from now, or not? And you're in the robe, you're on the bench, you get to make that decision today. I would just urge you to think about what it must have taken for her to do what she did. Not everyone is capable of that extreme amount of violence. Not everyone, not even some of our worst offenders go that far. There was some statements made at our last sentencing that I would ask you to take into
Remind
context
you,
the evidence you heard.
this was a hard-working man, had his own business, took care of his family. You know what I'm saying? Took care of this woman for years, man. This is the thanks you get. You know, because he's just trying to take care of his girls because obviously she wasn't capable of doing so. So, man, you got to be careful who you with, y'all. Be careful.
Submit it to your discretion, just defer to the victim's speakers.
Okay. Ms. Michaels, what, if anything, would you like to say before I pronounce sentence against you?
At this point, I just feel that anything I say,
Remorse whatsoever.
it won't.
I just feel bad.
The family's looking for certain things, and I cannot deliver what the family's hoping for. And they're here, and I just want them to get their, at least part of their anger out. I know no matter what I say, they're still going to feel the same way. So just let them have their time, and that's all I can say.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I like to state, I am going to be somewhat brief. This was the result of a 2-week jury trial. I do appreciate Ms. Michaels' statements and even the lack of her statements. This case has had a bit of a wild ride to get where we are before Your Honor today. You know, the jury, and we all spoke to the jury afterwards, looked at basically one thing, and that was her statements to the police on August 15th. And she has made several statements leading up to this point, and today she's chosen to just basically let the record speak for itself and then the history of this case speak for itself. You know, Your Honor is in a very unique position being basically a murder trial judge. The thing that I would like the court to take into consideration is the issue of proportionality. You know, you hear on a regular basis cases that involve years, if not decades, of criminal conduct.
Let's break it down. This woman got 240 years in prison. But I think it's more to the story. I think she had some help. There's no way that woman could have possibly did that by herself, from severing his head, from moving the body, because they said the body looked like it was moved. So once I get some more info, I'm going to do a part 2 to this video. But anyway, like and subscribe and let me know what you think. Thank you.